I just uncovered one of the greatest wealth building opportunities that I think exists in the decentralized science landscape right now. What's going on, everyone? I was initially going to come in and explain the importance of IP NFTs and showcase to you guys the one I have pulled up on the screen here from VitaDAO, which went up over 1,500%, did a 15x in the matter of just 2 months. But what I'm about to show you instead trumps that. Have you guys ever heard of BIO.XYZ? BIO.XYZ has a launch pad in which they launch different desci DAOs, the likes of Athena DAO, Valley DAO, Hair DAO, Cryo DAO, and VitaDAO, all DAOs that we have touched on in this channel specifically because we cover everything decentralized science, and I'm trying my best to cover the entire landscape. Well, what I'm about to show you in this video here today is going to blow your minds. Let's go ahead and listen to this together, all right?
But the way that VitaDAO works is VitaDAO is comprised of different scientific working groups with researchers from all over the world that are actively bringing in new research and evaluating kind of the research that other people are submitting. And so it's this mix of like kind of, if you've ever applied for a grant, like an NIH grant, and then a biotech VC, and then a big scientific community that is openly discussing ideas. And the goal is really to fund moonshots, things that haven't been tried yet, or that might seem too crazy for other organizations. As I said earlier, like science funding is typically really...
So right there, he's kind of just giving you a base case for what a lot of these DAOs are for. They're here to fund moonshots, things that otherwise might get looked over in the current academic space and the current funding space, applying for grants and stuff. If there's not a clear path to getting a profitable product out on the market, oftentimes that research doesn't get funding. And so one of the biggest markets is funding those moonshots, because those moonshots do occasionally break out and create products that are revolutionary, beyond revolutionary. The CEO of Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, said that Satoshi launching Bitcoin was one of those use cases, one of those scientific products that was a moonshot, which launched and created something like Coinbase down the line. If Satoshi had not funded or planted that initial seed for Bitcoin, then Coinbase's company wouldn't exist at all. So that kind of idea, that kind of moonshot. But let's continue.
Like it can sometimes take up to a year for a researcher to even hear back whether they get funded or not. And so with Newcastle University, this project that I mentioned earlier, VitaFast, we funded the researcher within 3 weeks.
VitaFast, what he just said is that one that I showed you that went up a 15x. VitaFast, that thing that he was just talking about right there, that VitaDAO funded and then now is trading on the open market as an IP NFT, received its funding in 3 weeks compared to normal biotechs receiving their funding in about a year. So that is the revolutionary side of what's going on here. And again, what I'm about to show you, what this man here spills the beans on, or lets the cat out of the bag on, is going to blow your mind.
The
Just
university had
patience,
the money in their bank account.
Patience.
Which we think is really impressive. These are some of the other projects that have been funded. One is, for example, with the University of Copenhagen, the Cybernutzen Laboratory. Another one is with a researcher called Evander Fang at University of Oslo. And then the one that I mentioned, University of Newcastle. The funding amounts through IP NFTs typically tend to be at around $100,000, $250,000, up to $500,000. So we were very involved in building VitaDAO and in understanding that so first of all, building something in biotech is really, really hard. It's science, you need to think about commercialization, the whole bureaucracy, the whole regulatory landscape, very different subclass of investors. And then, as many of you probably know, building in Web3 is also really, really hard. And building a DAO it's a very crazy experience, if any of you have ever tried to build a real DAO with a public token. And so we realized, okay, building these biotech DAOs is super hard. Like you gotta understand biotech and then you have to understand Web3 for it to work. And so about a year ago, at Molecule, we launched BIO.XYZ, which is really an accelerator and a decentralized community for the creation of biotech DAOs. So we help co-found biotech DAOs. We provide DAOs with hands-on support and $100,000 in a convertible grant. And then really a network of builders. There's a whole program that comes with it. Then we provide battle-tested BioDAO frameworks, so a suite of tools Web3 tools and kind of white label solutions that enable folks to scale and build their DAO. And then really a community of builders that have successfully already kind of been through it. So kind of taking a lot of inspiration from Y-Combinator, some of you are familiar with that. These are some of the first DAOs that have come through BIO.XYZ.
They are the Y-Combinator. If you don't know what Y-Combinator is, it is one of the largest, if not the largest, innovative tech firm. Oh my God. It is the largest tech VC fund that exists over in Silicon Valley. So they are the seed investors into pretty much anything tech related that you can think of that you use on a modern basis, on a regular basis. Y-Combinator has had their footing in on ground level on each and every one of these projects. They are a launch pad for technology. BioXYZ is a launch pad for DeCi DAOs.
These are kind of independent founders that approached us, and we were really lucky to be able to be part of their journey and help them build. We'll hear about them from them just now, but some of them, for example, Valley DAO, Athena DAO, Cryo DAO, Hair DAO. Most of you, I think, or some of your favorite DeCi DAOs, I would hope. This is, for example, Valley DAO's website, some of the research projects that they've already funded, that they're actively working on. And then I'm excited to make a small announcement. So we're increasingly focused on the decentralization of BioXYZ itself and preparing to launch BIO. BIO really represents governance and value of all the underlying tokens that BioXYZ has. So today that's over kind of 50 million in governance value that will be beginning to kind of tokenize into the community.
BioXYZ is launching a governance token. BioXYZ is launching their own cryptocurrency. Now you can have a slice in the governance model of BioXYZ. This is enormous, guys. This is huge. We just saw CryoDAO launch. CryoDAO is one of the DAOs which literally used BioXYZ as a launch pad, and they raised $3 million in their pre-round, their pre-sale round. BioXYZ got in on a ground floor below that pre-sale round on Juicebox. Athena DAO, Vita DAO, Valley DAO, Hair DAO, all of these DAOs, which we cover on a regular basis, which are making huge strides in the market. Their Launchpad platform, the whole reason that they actually got the funding to exist, is now launching a governance token to flip the model on its head. You see right there, building towards a world where scientists spend 80% doing science and 20% applying for funding. Right now, that model is completely reversed in the traditional model. So scientists will spend 80% of the time begging people for money and 20% of the time actually doing science. I am very excited to see what comes from BioXYZ. I needed to share that with you guys, and it makes a lot of sense now. All right, this cryptic tweet we got from Vincent earlier in the year. On January 22nd, I said, which DeCi tokens are you loading up on before CZ announces his DeCi involvement? I listed out a bunch of them, and then he tagged BioXYZ and said, phew. It makes a lot of sense now. Vincent is very intertwined with most of these DAOs. Molecule, which launched BioXYZ, which I think we need to keep an eye on for them to launch a token in the not too distant future. Vita DAO, BioXYZ, and CryoDAO. Vincent is in the trenches, to say the least. So when he speaks, we listen, and we finally got that clarity. BioXYZ is launching a token. $bio. This is ticker BIO. Very, very excited. I want to see if Molecule launches their token anytime soon. Molecule is the place that you can go and list out the different IP NFTs and fractionalize them. I really wish I could show you that here today, but unfortunately the website won't load. It keeps giving me the 404 error, so something must be going on behind the scenes. They must be changing up something, or my internet's down. Either way, time's your most valuable asset. Hopefully you guys understand the impact that this announcement actually is about to have on the entire DeSci community. I will see you guys in the next video.